Some more trade buzz to unpack on Golden State Warriors today. Really excited to unpack it all with all of you. But first, if you love the Golden State Warriors, I just want you to show us by hitting that thumbs up icon and liking the video. Let me say this again. This is Golden State Warriors today. Do you love the Dubs? If that's the case, hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. And without further ado, let's talk some Warriors hoops right now. Yes, it is time to start talking about Kevin Durant once again. And let me say this about KD. He's probably having his second best season of his career, even though he's 34 years old. But is it time for the Warriors to finally consider, for real, a Kevin Durant trade and reunion to the Bay Area? Stephen A. Smith did talk about it today on ESPN, and this is a topic that I wanted to broach and talk about over the last couple of days. And then Stephen A. Smith kind of stole my thunder, decided to talk about it on ESPN's First Take. And here's what he had to say about a Warriors trade for Kevin Durant. And if you think about this basketball team right now, these young guys aren't helping, Steph Curry and the crew. They could really use an impact player like Kevin Durant. Stephen A. is saying, now, if you have changed and you no longer believe in some of those young guys, go ahead and make the trade for Kevin Durant. You cannot waste Steph Curry playing like this. You can't take this for granted. You can't waste the greatness of Steph Curry. You can't waste it. Now, yes, Jonathan Kuminga is coming off a double-double, and Jonathan Kuminga looked good. But the Warriors are a better basketball team than the Dallas Mavericks, yet they still lose down the stretch. Steph Curry, the traveling call. Steve Kerr drew up a beautiful inbounds pass to Klay Thompson, arcing that ball over the defense. The Mavericks wanted to foul there. They could not because Klay got so wide open on that action. But the Warriors need another impact player, especially on the offensive end of the floor, and Kevin Durant just fits that profile. So before we continue to dive into this subject matter, I do want to pose this question for you. Should the Warriors trade for KD? T for trade, P for pass. If you've been watching this team this year, you know that a key ingredient is missing. And a lot of you were fired up saying, hell no, don't bring back Kevin Durant. He left us before. Don't bring him back. Now, how do you feel? Let me know in the comment section. Get in the shoes of general manager Bob Myers. Going back to Kevin Durant. So his stats in the Bay, 208 games played. Marvelous. 25.8 points per game, 7 rebounds. What really stood out to me throughout his entire stint with Golden State, his efficiency from the field as well as from the three-point line. And you look at his numbers with what he's been able to do over the last couple of years. This year, Kevin Durant has been able to at least keep the Nets afloat. Now, yes, he did bring on some drama to this organization by making that trade request and then revoking it. Kyrie Irving and everything and all of the drama that's followed him hasn't helped matters either. But KD on top of Kyrie doesn't know what he's going to get from Ben Simmons any given night. Yet all he continues to do is hoop and play really good basketball. Honestly, it might be the second best year of his career up to this point, as we're about to reach the quarter pole of the 2022-23 regular season. More than 30 points per game. Guy is continuing to shoot around 55% as he continues to progress late in his NBA career. What Kevin Durant is doing right now is really impressive. And if you were to add him on the mix with Steph Curry, with the way that they are both playing, both in that MVP conversation, the Warriors would go from a team that right now, record-wise, and with the way that they played, has been completely average to a team that might have legitimate NBA championship hopes. Brian Windhorst, more with the Warriors' interest on Kevin Durant. This has been a discussion inside the Warriors organization. So when it's coming from Stephen A., it's coming from Brian Windhorst, it's actually pretty legit, folks. So don't get so fired up and try to rip me in the comment section. I'm just having you informed about the Warriors. Curry's been asked about it, and Curry gave a non-answer, but he didn't shut it down. He didn't say hell no, which he has every right to do. Be like, no, I just won Finals MVP. No, we do not need to do the Kevin Durant trade. We need to bring our team back together and try to repeat. So if Steph Curry hasn't closed the deal on this Kevin Durant trade, and he had plenty of opportunities to do that this past offseason, All he cares about is winning another championship. All Steph Curry cares about is wanting to cement his legacy as one of the greatest players of all time, which he already is, but further cement that legacy. And he knows that Kevin Durant would make this team borderline unstoppable with that selfless style of play. And Kevin Durant having a familiarity with the players on this roster, at least the key pieces, as well as the system that Steve Kerr likes to run. And I imagine that Steve Kerr would also welcome back Kevin Durant as well. The contract, it is very pricey. It is really expensive. But if you don't re-sign Klay Thompson in the coming years, if you don't re-sign Draymond Green, if you trade away some of those young players, maybe even including a Jordan Poole, some money opens up to maybe pay Kevin Durant for the remainder of that contract. So, another question pertaining to KD, would you welcome him back to the Bay, knowing that he left in the first place and kind of ruined what was a destiny and a dynasty that could be destined to win another championship this year if they pull off this trade? Why for yes and for no? Let me know. So it's the holiday season. Great deals all over the place. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are in the rear view, right? This deal, it's here. It's on the forefront. It's in the present. Chatsports.com/Warriors deal. $20 off today only on this Warriors pullover, which is great for the spring, great for the summer cool nights, great for the fall, and perfect for the winter. Blue and gray available. $20 off. Chatsports.com/Warriors deal. Get yours today. Lastly, I do want to round out this discussion with this. I thought that on the Bill Simmons podcast, which I listened to this morning, he had a couple of interesting things to say about the Golden State Warriors. Most notably, he thinks that they could emerge as a potential suitor for Alex Caruso. Why would this make sense? Let's dive into it, right? Bulls could look to blow it up and just decide to start over. It's not a franchise that's playing well right now. Trading Caruso is logical because he's making a lot of money. He's a win-now player and not a rebuilding piece. He can close games for the Warriors as an elite defensive guard who can also shoot the three ball and bring you championship-level intangibles. And his contract, pretty affordable. Here it is. For what he brings to the table and the current financial landscape of the NBA, $9 million for a guy who can pester opposing guards and not be scared to defend wings is really good. On top of if he's hitting threes and basically serving that Gary Payton role that GP2 had occupied last year, yet Caruso probably the better offensive player, not the hammer dunks like GP2, but defense and threes better. So $9 million this year, $9.5 million next year, and in 2024, 9.8. It's a completely doable contract. And for Chicago, if they do decide to blow it up and rebuild, it doesn't really make sense to have a player like this on the team. His numbers this year, down from last year. Last year, 7.5 points per game. But you take a peek at the field goal numbers, the three-point numbers, nearly 42 from the deck, 37.5 from three, a steal and a half per game, and nearly a block per night. 0.8 blocks per night for Alex Caruso. For a guy who's shorter in stature, that's really, really impressive that he can give you nearly 1.5 steals and a block per night, on top of hitting timely threes and just playing championship type of basketball. This is a player who's valuable in crunch time. And there are a lot of guys across the league who are getting overpaid who can't give you what Alex Caruso would be able to give you. Hustle, defense, a three-point shot for a very affordable price. A name to keep an eye on as we get closer and closer in the weeks and months leading up to the NBA trade deadline. All right, last question for you. Your level of interest in Alex Caruso. Used to play for the hated Lakers. You've seen him a lot. See him with the Chicago Bulls. 1 to 100. 1, not interested at all. 100, very interested. Chime in, sound off, join the conversation, and as always, thanks for tuning into the show.